We made it. It is officially wrap up time for 75 Bard. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yes, we love it. We love it. We maybe want some more of it, but maybe not right now. Maybe a cooling off period before another 75 straight days of creating consistently in community. Welcome. If you are just hopping on because you're like, oh, hey, look, there's a cool live that's happening, and you have no clue what the 75 Bard thing is, you can really easily find it on my Intent Agility with Bex publication. There's actually a little tab at the top that says 75 Bard, and it will show you all of what I published across 75 Bard. Also, if you go to that page, one of the pinned things at the top of the page is what is 75 Bard. So you can go back and look through all the things if you'd like. Um, and you have the opportunity to do a 75 Bard challenge whenever you feel like it. It does not have to be on my timetable. It doesn't have to be on anybody else's timetable. Um, we're going to give folks a little bit of time. I am coming to you live and very casually from my kitchen because I also have dinner to cook where I am. It has been another busy day, but busyness does not stop us from being able to be creative and be in community and hop on a live for a little bit and chat. So, if you're joining and you feel like letting me know where you're joining us from, feel free to put that in the chat. Um, if you have joined us for 75 Bard for the challenge, feel free to, share a little bit about what you did over the last 75 days. What was your theme? What was your medium of choice? Mine was writing. So I committed to doing some form of writing over 75 days consecutively. Honestly, I think with the world being what it is, the most challenging element of the 75 Bard challenge was tending to my foundational needs. So even though it was really easy to write, especially because I had a lot of feelings and thoughts, so that always makes the writing part of things a lot easier. Editing was a little bit challenging, not gonna lie, so that curation part of things was a little challenging. But also just making sure I did simple stuff like hydrated, like had my water vessel with me, or made sure that I ate something, or made sure that I got proper sleep. So I think I'd managed pretty well across the 75 days, but there were some days it was really difficult, y'all. Not gonna lie. So it was challenging, including for me, to move through it. Also, apologies for the potential background noise. I got some very tasty bread heating up in the oven, so please pardon me, like pretend cooking show for a second here. And we will pull that out of the oven and try not to hurt myself in the process. I was pretty good at concentrating mainly on writing as my creative outlet, but I always have side quests, and apparently I am very late to the game and did not start learning anything about sourdough during the initial 2020 pandemic quarantine. But my goodness, I just got a wild hair and an awesome sourdough starter from a couple of very dear friends of mine. I transported it up to where I am and started my experiment learning how to do the sourdough thing and had a really successful loaf this time. I'm very proud of myself. And then I ended up, because all of my creativity is circular, ended up then being inspired to write a thing over on LinkedIn actually about iteration and sourdough. And I actually have a post on here too from my earlier forays into trying to figure this thing out. And yeah, so I think I actually did pretty good. This is partial loaf. I've already chunked some of it out. Um, I was really excited. This is iteration number 5, and I think I did a pretty good job. Go me. So that was, I guess, another side quest challenge that I completed over the last 75 days. Um, all right, so some hopes that I have for you. whether you joined the challenge or if you opt to try it in the future or hop into a future round, number one, I hope that you learned something about yourself. Maybe that looks like learning what your foundational needs actually are. So, the things that you need for yourself to be functional each day, even when the days are doing weird things and life is lifing. Hopefully, you figured some of that out and you took good care of yourself for the last 75 days or whenever you maybe opt to do the 75 barred challenge yourself. Thing number two is I hope that you had great moments of not taking yourself too seriously. It is possible to make some really serious strides in our goals and our creativity and all these things we do, and still manage to have a sense of humor and be playful and be silly and be lighthearted about it and not always feel like we've got to bring to our creativity what's been placed upon us with productivity and hustle culture and all of that. So hopefully you didn't take yourself way too seriously. Number three, I hope that you found some of your community, found some of your people. So if you didn't already have a strong support system in general for your goals or maybe specifically for your creativity, I hope you got to meet some new people or find interesting meetups, or maybe you hopped into some of our conversations. But I hope you found like that little corner where it's not just, oh, I'm tossing things out into the socials, but hopefully like actually feeling a sense of support, community, connectedness with other people in your creativity. Number four, I hope you did something really brave. And brave might look like doing any kind of endeavor like this and committing to being creative. Brave could be sharing your work out in the open instead of just like keeping it all to yourself in your own little creativity cave. Brave could be maybe you endeavored to learn a new thing or try something completely new and got way outside your comfort zone. Maybe brave looked like, maybe reaching out to like publishers or galleries or new employers or, other chances to be able to put your work out there or get paid for some of your creativity and what you do. Not the point of the challenge, by the way. Like it is just as valid to be courageous in creating really honest art and pieces and writing, etc., and not ever have the aim for that to bring in any kind of payment. But maybe that was the thing for you. Maybe you were like, I'm gonna, risk a journal or a space rejecting my work, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. Maybe that was you. Um, and last but not least, I hope that you have been encouraged to really feed your creativity. Um, for me, I know that creativity pours back into what I need for myself, my own nourishment, my own reset, making it through life. Um, Creativity has been part of who I am since forever. And I think that's the way for a lot of us. And then we seem to set it on a shelf a lot of the time. We think that we can't, for example, be serious and be creative at the same time, which I think is just like a lie that's sold to us to try to shoehorn us into directions that people want rather than us being able to be the person we were meant to be or could become. Because creativity and creative thinking and curiosity and the connection that creativity makes is all really powerful stuff. Um, you know, Clamping down or thinking or having limiting beliefs or teaching us to stifle or hide our creativity is how we get convinced to just go along with status quo. It's how we get convinced that we aren't powerful. It's how we get convinced that we aren't creative. But human beings in general, like we have been scratching out paintings on cave walls and writing our stories and, you know, making up beautiful narratives and creating language and ways to connect with each other since time immemorial, since before we had actual written language or, ways to spread our ideas farther and farther out from just ourselves. That's just like kind of who humans are. Um, and so I like to be healthfully skeptical, I guess, of anyone who demands that I do the adult thing and set my creative thinking aside and just kind of go along to get along. I would rather lean into curiosity. I would rather be creative, and I would definitely rather be creative in community. So I hope that you got some of that out of this experience, or you do get some of that out of an experience if you choose to engage with 75 Bard moving forward or again. I hope that, yeah, more than anything, you get to lean into the awesomeness that is your creativity and connect with that and move it forward in whatever way that looks for you. So, yeah, we're gonna pause for effect, give y'all a moment. I'm gonna sample some more of my bread because it's nice and warm now. Hmm. Accidental ASMR. This is how it happens, people. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Um, whatever you are getting into for the rest of your day, whenever you're seeing this, I'd love for you to consider a few things. So, the first thing that I would love for you to consider is how you are going to continue tending to yourself on the daily. There's a lot of things that we can move through that kind of make us forget for a moment that we have needs too, that we have stuff we've got to take care of for ourselves. So I hope that you are intentional with making sure that you set up your support systems, your day to day in a way that feels doable for you to be cared for in the most foundational, basic level. Um, two, I hope that if you have created some community, that you stay connected and you remember that people want you around and people want to engage with your creativity and your ideas and your curiosity and your excitement. They really do. And last, but certainly not least, I hope that even if you've struggled to figure out the ways you are creative and what creativity means for you, I hope that you don't stop exploring what that looks like for you. I hope you take some opportunity, lean in with curiosity, and find something that allows you to expand your thinking, that allows you to explore the world around you in a different way, that lets you look at things just a little bit differently, hopefully without taking yourself too seriously in the process. So, I'm gonna hop off of here for at least the moment. I'm going to have my dinner. I hope that you have nourishing food available for your belly. I hope that you have hydration at the ready. I hope you get great rest. I hope you have great connection. And I will probably hop on and do another live or two because it's worth wrapping up together and having a little bit of celebration. But in the meantime, I'm going to make sure I get fed, take care of my foundational needs. Please take care of yours, and we'll see you soon.